Oh, you didn't hear a word I said. Dang it. I realized, look, I seen the button that was not pressed. So if you're still here and you're like, dude, I can't hear you. Sorry about that. Dang. See, I'm pressing all the buttons and I'm not pressing all the buttons properly. My bad. But now you can hear me. So that works out. Damn. That would have been so embarrassing if I did this whole thing and you couldn't hear a doggone word I'm saying. Just let me know now that I'm thinking about it. Let me know that you can hear what I'm saying, please. Just, yeah, if I did that, it was definitely going to be the most profound thing I ever said. And then you wouldn't hear it because, well, that's just how it goes. So, all right, what we're going to do, guys, is now that you can hear me, what we're going to do is have a little fun. Give me a word. Give me a word. Throw something out there, and it could be something that, something you want me to talk about. It could be a word you want me to say or work into my talk. That works too. And you give me the word and I'll say it, right? So your job is simple. Just type something into the chat. And I got a little system here that throws the chat from Facebook, from Instagram. Instagram is its own thing. But then Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of that is on its own thing. And so, so it's kind of cool. So I get the chat, put them in there, and that's how we do it. Yeah, so look, is this a thing? Hold on, let me press this button. Can I just show somebody's chat? Look at that. Look at that little cool little tool. I can show people's chat. That is super cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh man. Well, we are on it now. Okay. I'm going to show, I don't know if I can show all of them, but here, I'll do that. We got, all right, we got something. We got fear of the unknown. Okay, cool. All right, I like that. Be really cool if I could throw it up there as I'm saying it. I'm not promising that because that is another level of organization. But if you throw the chat in there, I'm going to try to make sure I put it on there. That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing. Now I do, though. Poor Instagram, though. You guys, the way they crop it, you're not going to see the words on the screen anyway because it's over here. No, it's over here. And you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's all it is. Yo, my man, Van, I had a live interview that went long. And so I don't know the time that, so I had to do this a little bit later, but we're here and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? We're here, we're doing our thing. So right now, so far, we've got fear of the unknown, and then who's so-and-so? So-and-so is typing was the comment. I'm wondering, is that what you wanted me to say, or is that just you being funny? So-and-so is typing. You've got like so-and-so. That's the name of your thing. Okay. All right. Let's jump into this, guys. Let's jump into this. There are a lot of things going on right now. And one thing I'll tell you is I used to have this saying that I would say all the time. And it was, people say, how you doing? And I'd say, oh yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm trying to fit 10 pounds of sugar into a 5-pound bag. And, I heard it from some dude, from some Southern dude. And I can't remember who it was. So thank you for whoever it was. But I got it off this guy years and years and years ago. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. And I'd say it. How you doing? Oh, I'm just trying to fit 10 pounds of sugar into a 5-pound bag. Then I realized, what I'm telling people is like, I'm super busy, right? I'm trying to fit all this stuff in. And a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of professionals go through that same thing, right? You challenged or whatever. But here's the reality. I had to kind of be real with myself and keep it real and just say, look, let me stop. It's kind of a cop-out when you just make the excuse of I'm busy, right? All right, Van, we got laziness versus accountability. I love that. Being busy. I had to realize that, so one day I said it, somebody said, how you doing? And I was like, hey, I'm good. I'm just trying to fit 10 pounds of sugar in a 5-pound bag. And this guy said, you know how to do that, right? So what do you mean? He said, find out the 5 pounds that are the most important and pour those in first. Then get rid of it and pour the other 5. And he's all proud of himself. And I was kind of annoyed, like, well, it's just a saying, man, come on. But then when I really thought about it, I thought, man, that is actually pretty profound. The point is, and what I realized too, is most of you are in the same boat. You don't do well with priority. Now notice, I didn't say priorities, I meant priority, right? This is you got to figure out what's important to you, period. Priority, not priorities. You got a million things going on, but you know, I remember Coach Prime, I was watching something and he said, keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. You know what that means? It means you've got to make sure that whatever is the most important thing is the thing that you're working on right now. What you're working on right this second. So Chapman grad threw out fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. Let's unpack that. Think about this. If you don't, what are you afraid of? You don't know what you don't know. And so I have a saying, and I want you to remember this, Chapman grad. I want you to remember this. I want you to understand this. I want you to know this. I want this to help you, and I think it will. Here's the statement. It's don't freak out. Find out. I'm going to say it again. Don't freak out. Find out. I was working with an entrepreneur a while back, and she was talking about her father, and she was so afraid of the possible scenarios. Her mother needed around the clock care. Okay. And so her father was the one who handled that, but he's also a business owner. And so she says, I'm terrified that if something happens to my father, I'm not sure. Unknown, fear of the unknown. I'm terrified because I'm not sure what's going to happen after that. I said, don't freak out, find out. What do you mean you don't know? If you don't know, this is your opportunity to go find out. So literally going to find out. And it sounds simple, but it's not so easy, is it sometimes? Because we're in our head and we paralyze ourselves sometimes with fear. We put ourselves in a position where we're so scared of what bad thing we're thinking about. We're so afraid of that. We put ourselves in this paralyzed state. We don't make any moves. A lot of times you don't make any money either. You don't make any progress. You definitely don't do that. And so I said, go find out. And I sent her on this journey to go find out. And she had a conversation with her dad, and she explained to her dad what she was worried about. She had a conversation with her mom, and they laughed. And she's like, what are you laughing about? I'm telling you, I'm afraid about you dying. Something happens to you, Dad. And Mom, I don't know what's going, if something happens to you, Dad, I don't know what's going to happen. Why would you be laughing at me? And then Mom and Dad, they laughed and they said, you didn't think we thought about this? You're over here worried. You're worrying yourself sick. You don't think we thought about this? Pops already had life insurance in place, already had a game plan in place. This is what happens to the business. This is what happened in the... She said, how come you didn't tell me? He said, you never asked. You never asked. Hey, if you're just joining, throw a word in, I'll say it. You type it, I'll say it. They said, you never asked. After that, all of a sudden, she turned over a new leaf. She made a promise to herself and said, you know what, instead of freaking out, I'm gonna find out. Speaking of find out, one thing I can't stand, and you shouldn't be able to stand it either, is folks that refuse to be accountable for their outcomes, okay? Let's talk about laziness versus accountability. If you're accountable, right, you're not gonna be lazy if you're accountable. You hold yourself accountable. It's an action, to hold. What does it mean to hold yourself accountable? Well, if you understand the cycle of accountability, then you're in good shape. Let me explain the cycle of accountability. Cycle of accountability, and it's all connected, by the way, to fear of the unknown. Laziness, we can't have that. Accountability, the cycle. Here's what happens. Instead of being freaked out about what is instead about being freaked out about what is going to happen next, right? Instead of being like, instead of being like, look, I'm not sure how the metamorphosis of this whole situation is going. I don't even know what that word means. I'm not sure if I'm going to create this entire thing, I have no idea. Instead of being fearful and put your head in the sand and saying, I don't know, you're going to say, I'm going to seek out what might happen. You seek it out. That's the first part of the cycle of accountability. You seek out what happens, right? Like what might happen. Like metamorphosis. What happens in the metamorphosis? I'm going to seek it out. I'm literally going to say, I'm going to seek this out. That's the first thing. So once you seek it out, then you play it out. Oh, nice. Transformation. So I see, look, this is an example. I sought it out. I wasn't fearful of the unknown. This is funny. Chapman grad said fear of the unknown. Then Brandon puts a word in there that says metamorphosis. And my negative self-talk is like, you should know what that word means, but I didn't know what it meant, so I said it. I literally didn't freak out. I found out. I just told you to do it. Don't freak out, find out. And then boom, I got the answer. It's like a transformation, caterpillar to a butterfly. Transformation, laziness to accountability. When you understand that you're not afraid of what could happen, if you're literally going to face it head on, you just ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen? And look, then you get your game plan. Figure it out. Don't freak out, guys. It's a waste of time. Just find out. You don't know something, say you don't know. I just did it right now. I got a new word. Now I understand. You could do the same thing. There's things that you're unfamiliar with. There's things that you don't know. There's things that you're uncertain about. There's things that are bothering you. There's things that it might go this way and it might go that way. And if it goes that way, it's not going to be good. If it goes this way, it'll be all right. You can play it out. You say, look, what's the thing that could happen? And what's the thing that I can do to prepare myself for it now? Can I prepare myself? Is there something I can do? Because don't worry about the things you can't control, because you can't control them. Don't waste your time. But also don't worry about the things that you can control, because if you can control it, then why would you worry about it? Why would I worry about not being able to work out? I can control that. I can take myself to the gym. I can go lift weights. Why would I worry about that? Don't worry about the things you can't control. Don't worry about the things you can control. Well, it doesn't leave much room for us to worry now, does it? Talk about a metamorphosis. Look, go from somebody who's letting life control them to somebody who's in control of their future. Have a metamorphosis from somebody who is waiting for things to happen to them and somebody who makes things happen. Have a metamorphosis from somebody who is not taking accountability in their life, which is lazy, by the way, to taking accountability and having a cycle of accountability. Try that, and I think your outcomes will improve. Yeah. Just like my vocabulary will improve. Guaranteed. Look, I'm guaranteed I'm gonna get better. I just learned a new word. I knew that. If I thought about that for a second, because the whole butterfly thing got me, right? I know that's what it is, right? It's like the crystallization. But you know what? You know what you don't want to do is say a word. I did it a few weeks ago. So I thought a word meant something and I went off on it and it was the exact opposite of what I thought it was. Yeah, that's not awesome. Not awesome. But look, have a fantastic Friday, guys. Whatever you're getting into, get into it. And if you got something that you're thinking about, you got something that you're concerned about, look, go find more out about it, right? Don't freak out, find out. Go find out. Go figure out what it is you're worried about in the first place. Don't waste your time. And then just take action. Just take action. The thing you think is going to happen probably is not going to happen. You know what I mean? For the most part. That's typically what the deal is. So, look, have a fantastic weekend. Get after it. I've got wrestling to watch. Do we have swimming to watch? Might have swimming to watch too. Maybe. No swimming this weekend. We've got wrestling to watch. We got some other things to watch, man. So it's gonna be a good weekend. But for you, don't freak out. Find out. Put yourself in a position to win. Okay. Look, if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Don't be lame. Do what you got to do, guys. You know what I mean? If you just joined us, you just missed us. This was Motivation on Demand. My name is John Guyton. This was John Guyton Studios. And I'll holler at you later. I'll be here Monday, probably around the same time, maybe a little bit sooner. And we'll get after it. Yeah, so 100%. Yes, sir. Action, accountability, and consistency fuel the transformation. I love it. Words to go out on. I appreciate that. That's what's up. So yeah, if you're just joining, man, join us next time. You just literally, if you put a word in the bottom, if you put a word in chat, I'll say it. I'll work it in. People have tried to trip me up too. I mean, one was the origin of the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Some have been, I mean, it's just been wild. But yeah, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. Had some challenging ones as well. But, we're going to have some fun. All right? Again, I'm John Guyton, John Guyton Studios, johnguystudios.com. Peace out. See you next time.